Mysterious guests that are okay, fantastic. Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Kaleen O'Connor. I am again joining you from Florida, USA, and really glad that you're with us. Tonight, we're going to be diving into the world of cellular health, and we're going to be talking about a breakthrough that you may or may not have heard of. It really is 15 to 20 years ahead of its time, and it's a very new conversation still, believe it or not, in the medical field, holistic as well as pharmaceutical, all avenues. But it really includes one of the fastest growing fields of science as well that's hitting all of our universities. So congratulations on accepting the invitation to be here today or tomorrow, depending on where you are in the world, because obviously your time is valuable. I want you to know that there's different reasons why people are curious about this health resource. And so I'm just going to go over those, and because you might find that you're in one of them or a few of them. For example, you might find that you yourself have a health challenge, or that you're caring for a loved one or loved ones that have health challenges. You also might just want to look, live, and feel younger. We're all aging, on some level, wherever we're at on body age there. And then, some people like to be preventative in their health. And so that could be a reason why you'd look at this. Or what we call human performance. So wherever you're at in terms of exercising or working out, the opportunity to recover faster, have more endurance during workouts, or if you're at the professional level. These are all reasons why this health resource might benefit you. So, and then finally, of course, because it is a breakthrough and there's a unique way that we're sharing and educating people about this health resource, there is a business opportunity as well. So we're going to go over all of those tonight, really first focusing on the health aspect itself. And so with that, I'm your host, and I'm going to introduce our first speaker. His name's Stevie Aquilina, and he is from down under, and just a phenomenal educator in this health breakthrough, as well as just a very dedicated family man, global entrepreneur, humanitarian, all kinds of good stuff. So Stevie, thanks for joining us, and we'll turn it over to you.
Hey, Kaleen, thanks very much for the very too kind introduction. Did you hear that weird robotic voice at the start?
Yes, that was
That's
interesting.
new.
I guess that's a new upgrade, right? That like the webinar is being recorded or something.
That was new and weird.
Yeah, welcome to Zoom 2.50, whatever it is, right?
I thought, Kaleen's going to think I'm being weird and just going to talk in a robotic incognito voice from now on these Zooms. Yeah, so that was cool. Well, hey, yeah, thanks very much for the, as I said, too kind introduction. And yeah, just want to shout out to you for being a tremendous lady and leader, not just to your own team, but everyone around the world, and such a great friend as well. I really appreciate you always being there for me, looking after me, and hosting these Zooms for everybody. It's greatly, greatly appreciated.
Absolutely.
So thank you everyone for being here, and I greatly appreciate you and your time and deciding to spend it here, because it's non-refundable, your time. If you paid money to be here and you didn't like what I had to say, I would just give you your money back. But time is not something I can give back to you, so it's far more valuable than money. Thank you very much for being here. I don't intend to waste it, so let's dive into the very reason that we're here today, to discover what this breakthrough is. So as Kaleen so very kindly said, and in case you couldn't tell by my Crocodile Dundee accent, my family and I live in Australia. My name is Stevie Aquilina. Let me get my screen moving here. We're originally from Sydney, but now we live on the Gold Coast of Australia. And that was really, truly a dream come true when we could finally make that happen. I'm very blessed and grateful, for my life and the income and the time and the freedom that I have now, that allows me now to enjoy a great lifestyle with my family. That's also taken us to many parts of the world that were once upon a time way too far out of my reach. But I say now because before, the good vibes and good times were not always there. I was a weird, difficult, awkward child to bring up in school. I never made the grades. Out of any of the bad things that happened to me, probably the worst thing that happened to me was on a daily basis, I was told I was stupid and useless. And when you're told something often enough, especially while you're young and impressionable enough as I was, you kind of start to believe it. And so I later became a teenage runaway and a high school dropout. With that kind of thinking, I walked myself way off track on life's journey, right throughout my teens and 20s. It didn't get any better when I tried to grow up and enter the workforce. I had more than 20 different jobs in far less that time for over a decade. I was a very dumb but very good looking bouncer in what used to be the most popular nightclubs in Sydney, in the most notorious nightlife section of Sydney, King's Cross, for anybody knows it. Notorious for all the wrong reasons. I was hanging out with the wrong people. I was doing and taking the wrong things. I was just living on the wrong side of life. Now, I had big dreams. I wanted to be, do, and have more. I really wanted to give more, actually. It was always inspirational for me growing up, looking at my comic book and superheroes. I wanted to be giving more, but I had little self-esteem, and so I did little with my life and had little to give. Physically, again, following the superheroes, I've always been athletic, mainly in martial arts. Back then, I had health troubles. You wouldn't have known it, but I had an autoimmune, inflammatory diseases. I had severe skin, respiratory, and gut problems most of my life, and lots of very bad injuries from very hardcore martial arts. Financially, I just got myself stuck in go nowhere jobs. I had hopes going nowhere, no prospects, no financial security, no financial dignity, but I had a wealth of debt. Not debt that people owed me. I owed other people. Embarrassingly broke, behind, phone, electricity, gas cut off. Not able to run my car on anything more than just the fumes of petrol or gas. Not able to make the rent, and I've been evicted. I'm in no financial dignity. Now, I believed in possibilities, but I doubted my potential. And so with that kind of contradiction, it led to confusion and feelings of unfulfillment, unhappiness, and frustration, unable to be who I wanted to be. Here was a major turning point for me. I met this girl of my dreams, and I was motivated more than ever before to become more. The turning point with her for me was that she believed in me when I couldn't, always told me that I was more. And I guess when you're told something often enough, right? But also another very period of grace in my life has been being introduced to this company with its life-changing breakthrough, life-changing opportunity, life-changing training. The company leaders are extremely successful people. They believed in me too. More importantly, they've taught me how to believe and become more. And so today, instead of having all of these health and wealth problems from the past, I've solved them. I have the honor of helping others to solve them too, with this life-changing breakthrough and this life-changing financial opportunity. And now, instead of being trapped, unfulfilled, unhappy, and frustrated, I now have the ability to believe and become more. And more importantly for me, I'm able to give more because this company's training has shown me a life-changing better way. And so now I want to do nothing less than spend the rest of my life bettering people's lives in any one of these life-changing ways too. So here's what I'm going to share with you first. It's the life-changing breakthrough of ASEA. It is the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime, according to medical experts who say this is a very big breakthrough, greater than the discoveries of DNA or penicillin. Now, for 2 decades, science had declared that this was impossible. However, this is a breakthrough with enormous potential, which has been proven by renowned universities and world-leading laboratory medical studies, not made-up studies, medical studies, a very advanced breakthrough, as this breakthrough is considered to be more than 15 years ahead of its time. And any health goals or challenges you can think of, remarkable results, but drug companies wanted it all shut down. I'll explain that more a little later. Before I tell you what this is, let's be clear about what this is not, because this is nothing like anything else you've ever seen before. What we'll be talking about is nothing like anything else you're seeing on the screen, because it goes well beyond drugs or nutrition. It goes well beyond any type of ingredients or technology you already know about, because what I'm about to show you is an entirely new frontier in science that is truly groundbreaking and a category creating healthcare breakthrough. Okay, so the ASEA Redox cell signaling technology is a drink that contains active redox signaling molecules. Redox signaling molecules are made by your cells, so they're native to your body, and they are your cellular messengers that affect your cell-to-cell communication and your genetic expressions in a positive way. Redox signaling is a remarkable process because it is the actual process that empowers your body to heal itself by telling your cells how to protect healthy cells, repair unhealthy cells, and replace damaged cells. Redox signaling molecules also activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infection. Redox signaling molecules are what keeps cells functioning and healing at optimal levels. Why is this also important? Because we're all made of cells. We live and die at the cellular level. And so healthy cells means a healthy body and a healthy life. Redox signaling molecules are the keys to that life. at the cellular level. They are essential for the activation and function of our normal physiology. All of our body's major systems, biochemical and physiological processes critically depend on redox signaling. Critically, because if all of your cells were to suddenly stop making redox signaling molecules right now, you wouldn't live longer than just a few more mere seconds. Without your redox signaling molecules, life ends. So the question is then, if our bodies already make redox signaling molecules, what's the importance of your product? Why do we need to give our bodies more? Well, when we're born, we make an abundance of redox signaling molecules. That's generally why children have so much energy, how they can run around all day and not wake up sore the next, how they can bounce back so quickly from an injury or illness. They have an abundance of these molecules, quickly detecting, repairing, and replacing the damage as it occurs moment by moment. However, as we age, along with stress, poor diet, toxins, and all sorts of other environmental assaults, our cells break down. And that means our body's ability to make redox molecules declines and breaks down too. And without as many of these redox signaling molecules giving clear cell signals, our whole cellular protection and healing processes become slow, our cells break down more and more, and it's a vicious cycle that leads to a breakdown in our health, wellness, youth, and vitality. ASEA takes science seriously and is highly committed to ongoing research with renowned universities and world-leading laboratories, allowing these outside and independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of ASEA and prove that it is safe and effective in everybody. ASEA is within a very real and significant space of science because redox biochemistry is based in Nobel Prize winning research. These three professors were awarded the Nobel Prize back in 1998 for the first discovery of a signaling molecule. There have now since been multiple signaling molecules discovered, with multiple Nobel Prizes going out to researchers who have further advanced in this field of redox biochemistry. If you went along to pubmed.gov, which is where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published, if you typed in redox signaling there, you would see well over 33,000 results. There are more than 1,500 medical textbooks that have been published on redox signaling. This slide is already out of date with around 150 studies coming out almost every single month and being published here in the National Library of Medicine. According to medical researchers and mainstream media, as reported in this example by the Huffington Post, who specifically wrote about ASEA in this article, you can catch the headline there and look it up, Google it. Redox signaling is one of the fastest emerging fields in science that will shape all of our lives in the coming years. Let me give you just some short examples. There are now multiple universities who receive tens of millions of dollars of grants to open up redox research centers. There are global medical conferences being held about redox. Medical doctors can now specialize in redox. You can get degrees in redox medicine with one such professor, a doctor at Harvard Medical School who has a PhD and title that includes Director of Redox Medicine. And as for ASEA around all of this, we're already light years ahead. ASEA redox users enjoy cell signaling benefits, which translates to health at its most foundational level. Here's just one example. ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of genetic pathways and affect genes that improve immune system health, help maintain a healthy inflammatory response, help maintain cardiovascular health and support arterial elasticity, improve gut health and digestive enzyme production, and modulate hormone balance to support vitality and wellness. Now, these genes are key in the health of every individual, and they play a vital role, not just in the 5 mentioned human health areas, but also in dozens of additional genetic pathways. Moreover, ASEA redox has also been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. Further studies show that ASEA lowers oxidative stress, with the head professor of that university study saying that one of the most important effects of ASEA on disease risk factors is its ability to reduce oxidative stress. And that's significant because all degenerative health concerns are caused by oxidative stress. And from rigorous toxicology studies, ASEA is proven to be 100% safe, 0% toxicity. Why? Because redox signaling molecules are native to your body. They're already in you, body already makes them. It's just that now your body can't make as much of them as it used to be able to when it was younger and healthier. So as Kaleen said, if you have health challenges, if you have people that you care about who do, if you have a wish that you could live and feel young again, if you have the very good sense for protecting your health because you don't want to become old and unwell, right? If you have a goal of having high levels of human performance, whether it be athletically or just in your everyday life, any health goal you can think of, redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results. But you don't need to take my word for it if you don't want to, because I'm going to share with you some medical doctors right now so you can listen in on what they have to say.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. What can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
You know, I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it. People need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants. And the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. You can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies, and this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
Now that we've spoken about cellular health from the inside out, I'd like to show you what's possible from the outside in. That's made possible by ASEA's topical versions of Redox technology, which are Renew 28 Redox Gel and Intensive Redox Serum. Now, these two Redox technologies are further supported and enhanced by their complementary and all natural ingredients products, our gentle refining cleanser and ultra replenishing moisturizer. But a picture is worth 1,000 words. So let's just show you what our Redox technologies are actually worth with these amazing pictures showing health, anti-aging, and age-reversing results. Lines and wrinkles are smoothed out. Elasticity comes back to the skin. Skin blemishes, spots, dots, marks, inflammations, irritations, aggravations, other signs of poor health to the skin being renewed. For young people too, being rejuvenated and improving the quality of life. Don't make the mistake of thinking that this is just a cosmetic product solving cosmetic problems. I dare say that this young man's problem, he felt more than just cosmetically. Now, even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate conditions, coming back to the proper surface of the skin. This is Rosie. The dramatic difference you're seeing in the first two pictures on the left couldn't be seen by Rosie. She didn't take those pictures, so she couldn't see the difference. Rosie actually believed the products were not working. Rosie went to see a doctor. That's who told her about ASEA and who took these pictures. And when Rosie told the doctor, hey, the products don't work, the doctor showed these pictures to Rosie, and look, the rest of the story can be seen here very clearly, right? Everyone says they want to see how ASEA goes, but maybe Rosie missed the moment by moment changes by not taking pictures. And you are probably going to miss them too. So please take pictures so you don't. And for anything you can't take a picture of, keep a written record instead. People notice a result in a reasonable amount of time. It's different for everybody. Some people will within 7 weeks, like Rosie, others within 7 days. Most people can have an experience, a physical experience, in around about 7 minutes or so. But some people, they need to apply more product, time, and patience, generally when there's more going on with their health. What we know scientifically is that redox signaling molecules are all the same. Same in you, me, animals, and plants, all the same. Studies show that ASEA redox products contain nothing but active redox signaling molecules. Studies also show that ASEA redox products have an immediate positive effect. They work in every single person, every single time. It's going to be scientifically impossible for them to not work in you and or hurt you. But what does differ from person to person is the time it takes them to notice the change. Speaking of noticing the change, this doctor did a little experiment on his very own face, used Renew 28 on only half of his face and not the other. Renew 28 is not just for your face. As you can see here, arms, hands, bellies, buttocks, thighs, and all over. These pictures are actually from a study from a world-leading laboratory. The study was done because there were many reports coming in from all over the world from people saying that their cellulite had disappeared while they were using Renew 28. So scientists set upon very strict studies to see if there was any truth to these stories. What they found was after just 12 weeks, there was a 16% reduction in the appearance of cellulite. When scientists did ultrasounds to try and discover how this is happening, they saw the subcutaneous fat that was causing the cellulite was actually being dissolved from the use of Renew 28. Renew 28 helps reduce the appearance of cellulite. Renew 28 also helps soothe skin discomfort after things such as shaving or sun exposure alike. But Renew 28 is not just for the skin. It helps soothe discomfort around the body. And you can know about it in about 10 minutes. If you have some discomfort around your body, rate that discomfort on a scale of 1 to 10. Give it a sore score. A score of 10 would mean maximum discomfort. Apply Renew 28 on that sore spot 3 times, put it on 3 times inside of 5 minutes. And usually 9 to 10 out of every 10 people will notice a reduction or of that discomfort within approximately around about 10 minutes. Nothing I've said here today has been intended to diagnose anything that you're going through. And of course, ASEA does not claim to treat or cure any diseases. Before I move on any further, let's get a great example of what this stuff can do from the inside out again, now that we've shown the outside in. And there's not really a better gentleman out there to explain a really good news story about what this is capable of than the next gentleman you're going to hear from. So I'll hand it back to you, Kaleen. You're muted.
Yes, I am. How's everybody on reading lips today? Thank you. That was fantastic. Okay, great. So our next speaker is Dan Doyle, and he is truly one of our top field educators and definitely one of our top producers, in our company in terms of really sharing this with others. So you're going to get a real personal story of how it's changed his life and allowed him to change lives all over the world, including mine and my family's. Truly. So Danny, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Kaleen. Thank you, Stevie. Hey, everybody. Great to have you on the call. My name's Dan Doyle. I'm from Sydney, Australia. At the moment based here in Honolulu, Hawaii with my wife, Suzanne. Pretty tough place to be at the moment. Doing okay. Just want to go through my story. And before I do, I just want to reiterate what Stevie said about these products, this technology, this breakthrough, that they are not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. And anybody who's on this call who's seeing this for the first time, please relax. We're not here to sell you anything or convince you to do anything. We're here simply to share information, to inform you of this incredible gift that someone has handed you, and to inform you enough to hopefully make a decision whether you want to open that gift or not. So you've heard the presentation on the product from Stevie, and I'm just going to go through my story. You're going to get an understanding of why we are so passionate about what we have our hands on, the enormity of this breakthrough, which I'm sure you're starting to see and understand how big it is. And then I'll hand back to Kaleen, and she can let you know how to get access to this incredible product. So I grew up in Sydney, Australia. We've been traveling for about 5 years now. We've been out of Australia for about 2 years now. And back when I was growing up out in the suburbs, middle class, parents did an incredible job of bringing us kids up and putting us through private schools, which I didn't really take advantage of, the generosity. I was a kid that never liked school or homework, and I used to distract myself from playing many sports, and I excelled at these sports because that's what I prefer to do rather than go to school. Not that I wagged school, it's just I didn't do much while I was there. So for many years, I played rugby from the age 5 to the age 17, and in my early teens, I did judo, gymnastics, right through to my late teens getting involved in aerobics and surfing. And then I went into bodybuilding, which I started lifting weights at the age of 13 years old. This is a picture of me when I was about 24 years old. And you can see how serious I was at this sport. Did excel, did reasonably well, but not too great in this photo. I came second, and as far as I'm concerned, there's no second prize. But I came second in 2 state titles and New South Wales titles. And this is the start of me being a young entrepreneur. I got into the health and fitness industry. I had my own gym, had multiple businesses in the health and fitness industry. And over the next 2 decades, I built and sold 20 traditional businesses, not just from the health and fitness industry, but from the hospitality industry, construction industry, security industry, and employed about 3,500 people over that time. Now, if you sort of look forward 20 years from the age 24 to 44, coming to the end of me being an entrepreneur in traditional business, this is a photo of me at 44, not a bodybuilder anymore, but I still used to keep fit and healthy. I went to the gym every morning. I used to do a lot of cardiovascular work. 10 years later at 54, I still keep in this condition. I look after myself from a holistic point of view and do everything I can to keep my cells working at optimal level. Now I know foundationally, there's nothing better than Redox. It makes everything work. Unfortunately, this time though, I didn't know about Redox signaling molecules. And 6 months after this photo was taken, I got some really bad news. This is a photo of me on the right-hand side, no hair from the top of my head to my toes, where the doctors literally put me through what I wouldn't wish my worst enemy to go through. 2.5 years in and out of a hospital in Sydney, Australia. As I said, no hair, no strength, fluctuating in weight with what they were doing up and down. Good friend of mine, Johnny Banner, standing next to me, played the highest levels of rugby in Australia. He was 21 years old in this photo. Johnny had been through the hospital visits that I had started. He had what the doctors would consider to be the good one. I had 2 of the bad ones. Unfortunately for Johnny, after this photo was taken, when he went back to playing the highest levels of rugby, at the age of 21, went back into hospital and started losing a lot of weight, lost all his hair with what they were doing to him, and he never came out. We lost him at the age of 23. Come back to me, and I'm thinking to myself, well, Johnny didn't have a chance. What chance do I have with what they're telling me that I've got? And at the end of my 2.5 years of hospital visits, I was told to get my affairs in order. And at that point, I made a decision to take the responsibility of my health back into my own hands, did some research. Research led to an alkaline diet, and I cleaned up my diet, I tidied up my diet. I became a pescatarian. I ate deep sea fish, organic vegetables, salads, some good clean drinking water, and a lot of supplementation as well. Supplementation which I purchased from individuals that are involved in network marketing companies, which I can tell you with my mindset coming from traditional business, that was hard for me to do. But I did that because I wanted to survive and I knew their products were good products. So I bought products from companies like Zango, their mangosteen juice. I drank a bottle of mangosteen per day. Isogenics, product B. Life Vantage, their Protandim product, that's their marquee product. Kangen water. There was Max products, Celgevity, all these things I would religiously take for 2 years. Now, you would think my body would have been heading in the right direction, but I can tell you that was not the case. This is a photo of me 2 years into looking after myself. How do I look, guys? Well, what you see on the outside is a reflection of what happens on the inside. And I can tell you that the outside wasn't looking good, as you can see. So the inside wasn't working too well either. My blood works were still heading in the wrong direction. I was still in a lot of trouble with my health. A friend of mine reached out to me, Bart Cotter, and all he said was, I think I found something that can help. And long story short, got on a plane in Sydney, Australia, flew to Salt Lake City, Utah, met him in the headquarters of ASEA, and I started drinking these amazing little molecules. Now, in 3 hours, my body was expelling things from it so fast, I had little red spots all over my upper torso. In 12 hours, a 20-year stomach issue, a caffeine intolerance, seemed to have gone away. Any more than 2 coffees, buckled over in discomfort and bloating the whole day, that issue had gone away the next day because I tested it with having to drink. I drank 6 coffees. And 2 to 3 days in on the product, the light bulb went on. I had so much lung damage from what they put me through in that hospital where I had trouble breathing and talking at the same time. My lungs were functioning perfect 2 to 3 days on the product. So that was a little bit, that the experience in 2 to 3 days was pretty overwhelming. It was an emotional roller coaster ride of the benefits that I got from the product, that I felt from the product, and going from feeling tired and lethargic to euphoria, just all sorts of things going on. But it gave me the belief to stay on the product. I went back to Australia, went back to Sydney, and I kept drinking the product. Just over a year later, in 2015, this is the day the doctors told me no sign of those 2 major challenges. Not only that, multiple injuries from playing sports that were turning into that crippling issue as we got older had gone away. 20 years of pollen problems, sneezing, runny nose. My whole body was rebuilt by this stage, 1 year drinking these molecules. Now, let's fast forward another 2 years. This is a photo of me 3 years on the product. I always like to go back to 2014 because, as I said, what you're seeing on the outside is a reflection of what's going on the inside. If you see somebody that's not well physically, they're not well on the inside. If people aren't looking good on the outside, their body's not performing as well as it can be on the inside. 1 year on the product, you can see me looking a lot better, which means inside was working a lot better. And 3 years on the product, my complexion, a reflection of what was going on the inside there as well. So that's my little journey back to health, back to looking younger and feeling younger. And I can tell you it's been an amazing ride. Stevie's going to come back on shortly, but prior to that, there's people on this call that are interested in the product for their health. I think it's important that we make sure we clarify, and you're more than welcome to ask any questions in the chat box in regards to the product, the breakthrough, the technology, anything that Stevie's gone through. But Kaleen will come back in now and just talk about how you can access the products, how you can get them at wholesale price, to get, to make sure that you're getting it from the right place and the right person and for the best price. So I'll hand you back to Kaleen, and she can take you through that process. And if you're here for your health, just make sure that you go back to the person that introduced you, and then we'll go into a little bit more about how you can help people as we do and receive thank you checks for doing so. Thank you.
Thank you, Danny. That's awesome. So also, I just wanted to reiterate that part of what we like to make available to you all during this webinar, as Dan referenced, is just a question and answer. And obviously, we are in webinar mode, so you can't directly live ask your questions, but you can put them in the chat box. And you're welcome to do that now, and we will start to answer them directly in the chat box as well, okay? So again, this is really the product-focused aspect of our webinar. And the beauty of this is that it takes literally minutes to open up your own account and order your product. Now, just as a point of orientation, you may sometimes get really excited and go search for this product on, you know, Amazon or eBay or things like that. And you might find it, you might see it there, but that's not an approved place to order our products because we really want the education component to be in. And so you definitely want to get back to the person that invited you, get your questions answered. I get them answered here on the chat. We'll work out a product plan that's right for you based on the goals that indicate to you as you're learning about this. And there's a beautiful customer account that's called a preferred customer account that allows you to have wholesale pricing. And then you get to save money on the product and you get to earn free product points. And I will go into that in a little bit more detail with some visuals at the very end of the webinar. But we just want to honor that if you're just here to learn about the product, you can take a moment, put some questions in the chat, leave at any moment. We're now going to bring Stevie Aquilina back in, and we're going to talk about the other opportunity this breakthrough has brought, which is, you know, being able to help others, share it with others, and earn some income. And so for those of you that want to learn about that, stay with us on the webinar. Stevie, back over to you.
Hey, thanks very much, Kaleen and Dan. Yeah, folks, with every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. The greater the breakthrough, the greater the opportunity. And I hope you get a feel and a vision right now for where this has come from and where this is going. ASEA is a life-changing breakthrough. And that's created a life-changing financial opportunity behind all of this to make a living while bettering people's lives. And so as the ASEA's Redox products are the world's first and only redox signaling products for two very simple reasons. One, for nearly 3 decades now, no one other than the scientists who have worked with ASEA in the background, no one but them have been able to figure out how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. You're not supposed to be able to do that. For 2 decades before ASEA's breakthrough work, science had declared it was impossible. And we have validation from third-party science, from outside sources. Bioagilitics certify that we do have in our redox products nothing but redox signaling molecules. Why is this an important certification? Well, Bioagilitics actually assesses and certifies most of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the world, making sure that what's in products is what companies are claiming is in products. And Bioagilitics does that with ASEA. Now, too, ASEA is heavily patented. That means ASEA is not allowed to be copied, but more than that, in truth, ASEA cannot be copied because there's no way for anybody to be able to look into a bottle of ASEA and from there figure out how to reverse engineer it or make it themselves, because the secrets aren't in the bottle, because there are trade secrets in the making of ASEA. And so it really can't be copied. That means we have no copycats, and that means we have no competition, and that means no one in the world has what ASEA has. No one. No other products in the world are redox signaling molecules, and therefore no other products in the world can do what ASEA does. None of them. Nothing else in the world can get to the depth and level of achievement in the human body can as what ASEA can, because nothing else is redox and ASEA is. And redox works in everybody, and everybody needs redox. Nothing in the body works as well or at all, in fact, without redox, and redox can't hurt anybody. No other products can make that claim. No juice, pill, super shake, fancy water, CBD oil, whatever it might be, however good it might be, it can't get as deep and work as well in the body as redox. And in fact, those products, no matter how good they are, can't even work without redox anyway, right? So ASEA holds massive opportunities across, over and above everything else that's ever been out there before, and probably ever will be for many decades to come, across all health science sectors: healthcare, wellness, sports science, athletic performance, beauty, skincare, aging, longevity, multi-trillion-dollar industries. And this is one breakthrough that's changing all 3 of them, advancing life in all 3 of them. ASEA is the only company in the world, again, you can get a redox supplement from. This really is an entrepreneur's dream. Now, ASEA is here as its stated mission to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. That's what we do. We can't do it on our own, though. And so we look for people to help spread the word. And here's our simple plan. But powerful plan. We personally share ASEA with others, with people who just are going to love it at the least, but most importantly, need it. That's everyone, really. We work to grow and expand a global network of others who want to join us, partner with us, and do the same. Now, this puts you in business for yourself. You can be your own boss, but you're never in business by yourself, because together we're better. And so we link arms, we join forces, and we work to improve the productivity of the networks that you can build with us regionally, nationally, and internationally. So if ASEA gives you the opportunity to earn money just by sharing Redox with others. So if you are someone who's looking for either an extra, part-time, full-time, big time, maybe a legacy leaving income for loved ones to come, whatever your levels of ambitions are, there are levels of commissions to match it, to be able to afford making your goals, dreams, and desires a reality. ASEA helps you create income that is both residual and leveraged. You receive a residual income, not just from the first, but from all of the repeated purchases made by every single person you refer to ASEA. On top, you also received unlimited leveraged residual income from all of the repeated purchases made by every single person your contacts and others also refer. And because you can refer as many people as you like, and you get paid for every single purchase, and because those people can refer as many people as they like, and you get paid for all of those purchases too, again and again and again, even if it's the same person, that makes your residual income potential unlimited. Now, there is no limit to how far and wide and deep these referrals can go. You make as many as you like, and you do it all the time anyway. You're doing it already. Just like when you recommend a good movie, TV series, restaurant, cafe, book, whatever, it's natural that we tell people about good things. People tell people who then tell even more people, and it goes on and on. Word of mouth marketing is not only natural, but is the oldest and still today number one most powerful and effective and trusted and listened to form of marketing in the world. There's no limits, especially with how connected the world is today. Word spreads worldwide. ASEA is currently in 35 countries, opening new markets. They've done that every year. Based on existing trends, our annual turnover is projected to exceed more than $500 million by the year 2025. And we're with zero debt. We were from that year one, zero debt. And the only thing that's changed is every single year we've increased in profitability. Residual income is impressive, being able to make money again and again and again from the work you do once, being able to make money on your days off, on your holidays, while you sleep. It's very impressive, but more so, it's very important. You have residual bills. Why not residual income? Do you know what happens to most people by the time they're 65? Out of every 100 people, only one is wealthy, only 3 are financially secure. However, 7 must still work to survive at 65, and not working because they want to, by the way, but because they have to. They're a slave to the dollar. However, worse still, 74 out of every 100 people are dependent on welfare by the time they are 65. They haven't made enough money, they haven't put enough away, and they don't have any ongoing residuals dependent on welfare. So what went wrong? What's one of the main financial principles the top 4% seem to figure out that the other 81% of us, I'm talking about myself here because I was strongly one of those 81%. What is it that we weren't figuring out? It's this: how to make money that's no longer dependent on our paid by the hour, selling our precious time for money, labor intensive or own activity job, otherwise known as active income. Look, sooner or later, you're not going to be able to be as active as you are right now. Therefore, you're not going to be able to have as much active income as you have right now. When I learned this was very concerning for me, because I was thinking, well, my active income already isn't enough to look after me and my family. This is one of the biggest problems 81% of people get trapped in. Money is an excellent servant. You can do really good things with money, but it is a terrible master when you're controlled by it. And so if you don't find a way to control your money, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll be a slave for money until you die. And that sounds harsh, but it is the bottom line. I'm not saying jobs are bad. They're a good place to start for most of us, right? But if you truly do love your job, by the way, keep it. You're blessed. But still, find a way to make money outside of your job that won't interfere with what you're currently doing, because only relying on that single source of active income is very dangerous to your financial security. So for people who are smart, who've been wanting to be in the right place at the right time, or able to recognize a good thing, who decide to take control of their finances and their freedom and their future, for people who aren't happy with the amount of money that they have, for people who aren't happy with how they have to make their money, for people who have dreams and desires and want a better life, ASEA is a significant opportunity for you to be paid a significant residual income in partnership with the inevitable growth of ASEA's global expansion. And this can afford you those dreams and give you that real freedom. Now, there's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives. And that's what you get to do with ASEA. Now, you can make really great money here, that's for sure. You can even be rewarded on top with all expenses paid trips to 5-star luxury locations around the world. And you will have really great time, and you will meet really great people, make great friends, and you will have really great experiences and a great lifestyle. But really, at the end of the day, it is the effect we have on others. That is one of the most valuable currencies there is. And that is the heart of ASEA, and demonstrated because the truth is, after big pharmaceutical companies were shown tens of millions of dollars and 17 years worth of powerful research proving ASEA, those big drug companies offered to pay ASEA huge sums of money for the exclusive rights and ownership to the ASEA Redox technology. However, those drug companies, as a catch, wanted everything shut down and everybody taken off Redox. But thankfully, the founders of ASEA, Virtus and his son, Tyler Norton, had the great foresight to see grave concerns in such a deal. Because Virtus and Tyler saw people who went from very severe health challenges that once not just left them as individuals, but even those individuals' doctors feeling hopeless, to then these people experiencing life-changing, life-giving back experiences with Redox. And when Virtus and Tyler saw this, they were filled with a great sense of purpose to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world. And so they couldn't in good conscience sell out. That's why they didn't, because they have good consciences. They said no to the payout and yes to the people. Now, Virtus and Tyler, this for them, to be honest, had once started out as just a very big business play, but it had soon after that become more when they saw what this breakthrough was doing for people. The ASEA founders turned down the huge sum of money from big pharmaceutical companies, deciding to go the supplement route rather than the drug route in order to expedite the availability of this technology globally, making it available immediately to you, me, and everyone without a prescription. One of ASEA's foremost guiding principles was demonstrated here, as is always demonstrated in every decision they make, and that is to always put people and principles before ego and economics. Now, the ASEA founders and corporate team come from big backgrounds, up to Fortune 50 backgrounds, exceptionally experienced in running very big, profitable global businesses. But their corporate soul revolves around putting people first, and these principles that I've just shared with you, and very more honorable ones. So you're in good hands. Get back with the person who shared this with you. If you have any questions, ask them. They can point you to where you can find the answers easily. Plenty of university studies. Let them know what stood out to you the most, though. Most importantly, there's hundreds of thousands of real people's life-changing Redox experiences for you to see ASEA is the real deal. But more important than a third-party study is a first-party study. Experience this Redox reality for yourself. If you just want to be happier and healthier, live younger, stronger, longer, just become an ASEA customer. That's fine. We welcome you. We'll take care of you. But if you have more in your heart, if you have dreams and desires, if you want to be, do, have, and able to give more, if you want a better life, income, lifestyle, if you want to increase the prosperity of the planet, if you want to make more of a difference in the world, you can become part of this Redox reality. You can become more. And if you'll just pass this information on for many, many others, as it's been passed on to you, you can better the lives of many, many others. And your life as a byproduct of that will become better in many, many ways too. So thank you very much for spending this time with me. May you always be happy and well. And thank you, Kaleen, so very much for taking care of us here and hosting this.
Absolutely. And folks, we're going to wrap up the webinar, and I'm just going to share my screen. It takes me a moment to make it big and beautiful, so bear with me. Okay. I just want to bring it back home because obviously this really is all about the products and the uniqueness of the products. And of course, my computer is deciding to have a little hiccup here. So this shows you the 9 products that we have that focus on cellular health, right? And just to break it down a little bit, going back to the drink, because we really focus particularly on our redox cell signaling molecules. This slide just shows you as a little point of orientation, if you're ready to get started, that the product does come 4 bottles to a case. And this graph shows you why we don't just sell it by the bottle or give a bottle for someone to try. Because you can see if you're just trying a bottle for a week or maybe even just your first month, from a consumer viewpoint, what we found with over a decade of this product being consumed by millions is that you have anywhere between 10 to 50% of consumers that will actually perceive the changes happening in the body. We know it's happening within seconds. But for example, if it's helping your body to heal your pancreas, you're not going to feel that right away, right? So you can see when someone does a 3-month trial that we have over a 95% reality of them really perceiving the difference that's happening at the cellular level. So that's really important that when you try the product, the drink itself, that you do commit to a 90-day plan. I always say give it 6 months, honestly, but at least 3 months, and you'll find that there's quite a change. This again just is an image to remind you that we do have the topical products, which Stevie extensively went over with phenomenal pictures, okay? And then we didn't talk tonight about our nutrition, but we do also offer whole food nutrition in most of our countries, most of our markets. And what's beautiful about these, we didn't reinvent vitamins here, but what I love about them are a few things. One is that they are whole food. They're completely sourced from food and nothing synthetic and no fillers, non-GMO, organic, all those important things. And we focused on the truism that it's not what you take, but what you can absorb. So every formula has a patented absorption complex in the formula so that no matter what your gut health or your digestive health is, you are guaranteed for sure to be able to absorb these products. So again, get back with the person that invited you. This is just a quick visual to give you an idea of it. And we mentioned this a bit before, but again, don't just randomly buy this off the internet. Work with your distributor, because you're going to get education support. You're going to get the product directly from the production facility. You'll know that it's not expired, that it's safe, and you get to earn free product points, which brings your savings, increases your savings quite a bit. These are just fun, quick images, which we've already extensively touched on, that whatever indicates to you in terms of getting started on the product and or potentially sharing it with others, there's a business strategy that's definitely right for you, whether it's part-time, full-time, or just as Stevie said, as a consumer. And this just reminds you that we have incredible wholesale accounts where you save 25% off the full price of the product. And the associate account, which we haven't talked about yet, gives you the wholesale pricing. It has a one-time fee of $40 US or the equivalent in your country's currency. And then once a year, you pay a $25 annual renewal fee. And it has incredible perks and benefits, including very special packages that you can order on your first order only, that allow you to buy some of the product in bulk, with the idea you might be sharing it with your family. You're going to do a 3 to 6 month trial. The product is shelf stable for almost 2 years unopened. And so there's just incredible savings. And so find out about those. If you're looking at the associate account, get fully informed on the benefits to that. So in closing, we're here to help you support your body's ability to maintain and reclaim health. And I'm just going to end very quickly with a phenomenal quote from our founder. And I'm going to start to shrink my screen while I do that to save time. So we are all at the start of something big with great purpose. And right now is the moment that we begin influencing the future. We can change the world. And that is literally directly from our founder. And the reason that we share that with you is just to really show you the essence of our purpose as a global health project, and invite you to now be ambassadors with us of this really vital story that we need to share with humanity of cell signaling molecules and how the body does heal and repair itself. So wherever you're at today, get your questions answered and go back to the person that invited you. We will be back again on next week, same time, same place. And you're welcome to stay too. In about 5 minutes, we've got Cindy Buck that's popped on as our next host. We are leading a team training that we do every week for our business team around the world. So you're welcome to stay on that as a guest as well if you're curious how we engage and support and train our team throughout the week.